Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are working with Venus flytraps, and I was just about to repot one, and then it hit me that you guys should see how it's done. So I am going to be repotting a big mouth Venus flytrap today, and looks like there's a few little ones in there that we're going to be separating out. This has been in its container for a couple years now. The peat is definitely getting a little bit old, so I want to keep the media a little bit fresh. So we're going to go through and unpot this guy together. They are dormant right now. This is the middle of February, and like all Venus flytraps in the northern hemisphere, they should be somewhat dormant right now, being it's the middle of February. So if your Venus flytrap is in the house, you are growing it wrong. They do need a dormant period. So anyways, with it being dormant, it's a perfect time to do all this kind of stuff. It's going to happily wake up and be in fresh media and not even really be phased by it. So let's just quickly get started. It won't take too long to do. You can see the traps will be slightly active, but not really active because it is dormant. So they will react over time, but not as much. But all kinds of stuff has grown in here. And there's a few old traps from last year. This guy I pulled out of my temperate greenhouse. So let's just give him a flip over. There we go. So you can see the media is a peat moss and a perlite mix. There's probably some sand in there as well that you can't see anymore. And we're just going to take this guy right apart like this. So that's a pretty cool Venus flytrap, I think. Big mouth. Definitely has a big mouth. Big traps on it. But anyways, moving forward. So there's not really too much to them, to their root system at all. And we just want to gently work away the media. This has got a few weeds in it from growing outside, stuff like that. So I want to untangle the roots of the weeds from the roots of the plant. And we'll separate them all out. I know there's some little guys in here as well, so I want to be careful. The little guys are literally getting smothered in the moss that's growing on top of the media now. So it's time they came out. And like I say, they're going to look kind of, it's not the middle of summer, it's the middle of winter, so they're going to look small and all worn out from the winter. All their traps will be gone. Some little guys here. Another little guy. Another little guy. So these little guys, they're about an inch across right now, maybe a little bit more than an inch across. They will double or triple in size in the next growing season. And my two main plants here. So I'm going to leave the little baby ones over there, and I'm going to replant these two back together. Just like so. So I got everything out of there. That's pretty easy. So you can see the little tiny root system on these guys. There's not much to it. A new growth there though on the root. Let's get you in focus. So you can see a new little growing tip. So they're starting to activate again and put out some roots for this year. Bit of a rotten back bulb here, or back whatever you want to call it, rhizome. Let's get you back in focus again. My hands are so muddy. So we could always remove this little piece here. It's soft and mushy, so no point in adding something rotten to the new pot. You can take some little scissors or whatever and trim up these guys. Just like so. That one's ready to be repotted. And this one here, again, a little mushy rhizome at the back that I'm going to try to just remove slightly. There we go. Some dead leaves. If you're going to pull downwards, or you can cut with scissors. If I wanted to take some leaf pullings, now would be the time to do so, but I'm not doing that today. So let's put these guys somewhere safe. And then I'm going to empty the media. So I'll move these four off camera. And these two, I'm going to just stick in the tray above. Let's empty the media. You're going to shake a bit because I got to move you. There we go. Tray's back. I'll move you back. Sorry about the shake there. I'm going to actually downsize their pot a little bit because the pot they came out of doesn't fit in my trays as good. I have made Venus flytrap media, which is mainly peat moss, some perlite, and some sand. Make sure the sand is inert and isn't going to leach anything in. You don't want like a dolomite lime or a calcium sand. This is pool filter sand. It's totally inert. It's, I think, quartz. But there's my sandy mix form. It's pre-moistened, but still not sopping wet muddy. Makes it easier. Bring them back. Like they say, there's not much to them. This is going to be pretty simple. I like to put some media in first. And now you can do it two ways. I'll show you the first way with this guy here. This is my favorite way to do it. I like to kind of get him in position. And I'm going to move other things in position too. I'll put my media here. Like so. I like to get him in position and kind of almost hold him suspended where I want him to be. And then just fill the media in around him. I call it a him, but could be a her, I guess. Here we go. I think one of the traps just went. I triggered it. So let me just pack around like that. For smaller ones, like the other one, I'll show you in just a sec. So you want to pack it medium firm. You don't want it to like totally pack down, but it is going to naturally pack itself down a little bit anyways when you water. So you might as well have it, you don't want to have to go back 2 weeks later because the media has sunken down like an inch. There we go. So I just packed that gently. I still haven't actually watered it yet because we got to put the other one in. The other way to do it is, I'm going to find, what am I going to find? I'm going to find a pencil because that's what I can see that will work. And I'm just going to put a little hole in this way. Now, for ones with little roots, I don't mind doing this, but with big sprawling roots, I'd rather do it the first way. But if you're doing little tiny fly traps, this is a good way to do it. Shove it down in there like so. Gently pack around it. Now, when you get packing around it, you want to make sure these guys aren't buried too deep in there. These guys in the media that we just unpotted them from, the moss had like covered up all the rhizomes here, so we want to make sure that this part, let's get you in focus, this part here is showing. The roots are below it, but you don't want to cover the media way up to the top. This is kind of white like this because it was buried in moss, but ideally you want it like at least half showing. That's the crown of the plant. If you bury the crown too deep, it's going to rot. And there we go. That's basically all it is. Now I'm going to take my sprayer here, get it to the right setting, which is mist for me, and I'm just going to mist it and clean up the pot when I do it and slowly mist the media. I don't want a harsh spray right now. I don't want these things bouncing all over the place. And peat moss is hard to wet the first time. That's why this is pre-moistened. I started moistening this like a few hours ago, and I wanted it just fluffy enough that it would still sort of fall into place without being mud, but I wanted that wetting process to get started. And there we go. Just packing it down slightly with my finger. It doesn't go down very far. Just putting a little bit of pressure on the media, so I don't think the media is going to sink in all that much more. If it was to sink in, now would be the time. Like if I push down here and the media like went way down in like that, I could always then just take a little bit more media and fill that spot in a little bit, just like so. But yeah, that looks good. I'm going to mist this a few times today to make sure the media is nice and moist. I'm going to repot the other Venus flytraps the same way. Put it back outside, make sure it's not sopping wet or it's going to rot because it is dormant and it is the middle of February. I may leave them in the greenhouse for a few days now, or even just permanently to break dormancy a little bit early and get them growing. Only because here in British Columbia we are due for like the coldest cold snap of the season with lows of -10 Celsius, it's saying, which is crazy. We barely had below 0 this year. So yeah, anyways, there is a quick video on how you repot Venus flytraps. This is a big mouth Venus flytrap. Definitely one of my favorites. And yeah, I hope you like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you also find the tag and put the date, the month and the year at least that you repotted it so you don't forget. Bye guys.